like each session going back to what we did, just so we can see like consistent progress. I know there's only two of us right now, but maybe someone will watch this later.
You.
Okay. So does anyone? I don't. I think Natalie, you were in one of the classes where we did. We saw in the last class where we have pressure, and which area that was at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them. Yeah. I think it was last week. I think it was the week before that I went.
Right.
I had a meltdown with my kids, so I had to deal with her.
And Tufik, you were there. You were there too. Wait, so for me it was the chest. So I'm gonna have us all. Lower back still?
For me, my body is telling me it was my lower back here.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, mine's like in shoulder blade area.
I had someone join. I don't. Oh, there they are. Okay. Yeah, mine's still chest. Kind of the back of the neck.
Give me a bit of time.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
So, I just joined. So, should I wait till the beginner? What's the name? Beginner? What is it? Saturday? Or I could just jump into this one?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to jump in on this one. I can still go over the basics, and I'm sure if you've had a session already with Jesus, you'll catch on pretty quickly.
No, I've just been watching the videos.
How you doing with
I
that?
try to do different videos.
You get the breathing down? No exhaling?
A little bit. I think so, at least. I had to try it when I was smoking to make sure. So I don't know if I fucked up there, but it not no air came out or no weed came out.
Yeah, that's definitely something you can do too.
Maybe go through it. I went through it yesterday with, in class 2. I went back to basics a bit, and they enjoyed the solar plexus directly.
Yeah,
A lot of them didn't remember how.
Yeah, I didn't.
So maybe you can show us also your way.
For what?
I basically went back to the basics with them, like the H inhale and how to clear the lung and how to open the solar plexus and that continuous breath and the pump. So they can do the no exhale from the solar plexus.
One more thing I do add with that, sometimes I'll have you squeeze like in a pulsing rhythm. So if we're trying to get the solar plexus open, you squeeze, let go, super fast. Alright, but each time you let go, you're still grabbing on more so than you were before, so it's just like getting tighter and tighter slowly. And that can make you more aware of your muscles. And then once you grab onto it good, you can breathe in. And then see where the pressure builds up next. Hello, newcomers. Feel free to introduce yourselves. My name is Capri. So we got some new people today. So we're gonna go over the basics first. So we're just gonna jump right into it. I did more planning for the end of this, which is what we're gonna do the more difficult work, the shadow work, depending on how you look at it. The physical part can be difficult, but it's just when the connection between your muscles becomes weakened. So that's the most important thing, is not how big your muscles are, but how well they can connect to each other. Alright, so you can gain access to those internal ones and start moving the energy along. Whatever energy is stagnant, whatever chakra that's in. So to find where that's at, first thing I'll have y'all do, I'm gonna add that step I was talking about, see if that helps. So starting off, you're gonna squeeze your stomach, your top abs, and you're gonna squeeze them like in a pulsing rhythm. So it'll be squeeze, let go, squeeze, let go, squeeze, let go. Each time you let go, you're still squeezing it more and more. Alright, and you just want to feel how deep those muscles go. And when you do that, add your fists. It'll help you kind of latch on. And you just squeeze your fists and your stomach together. Alright, and then once you feel it pull in more and more as you let go and you squeeze it, once you feel a good grasp on it, alright, let it go, fill up your lungs, make an H sound. Okay, so breathe in as deeply as you can, and then you're gonna feel pressure in your front abs still. You're gonna push out against it, pull into your mid back, raise your eyebrows up, and go. Ah. So when you raise your eyebrows, you also feel it kind of pulling on the back of your head. Pull the sound up your spine from the muscles we were targeting in the stomach. And then once you feel it, the sound kind of break open that tension, you'll take another breath in through your nose. Okay, we always end on inhale through the nose. Alright, let me see. So the front chakras, they have to do with giving. Back chakras have to do with receiving. So we're going to take a breath and see basically what is the main blockage that is affecting our lives right now. Just to do that, you're going to feel where the most tension builds up. So all you do is you're going to squeeze your fists, okay? And then as you inhale, you're going to flex them open and fill up your lungs all the way. Try to make that sound like you're heaving, okay, because that vibration takes it into your lungs. Now relax, hold it, okay? And just see where you get pressure. Wherever you get pressure, point. And you can exhale once you feel it. Okay, so when you're ready, or when you finish, point where you felt the pressure. I felt it here. Heart. Heart. Like the collarbone. What about you, Natalie? Right there?
In here, in the armpit.
Tyrell, did you feel it somewhere?
Felt a little bit in my neck, but I felt more pulsating in like in my chest. I don't know if that means anything.
Okay. If it's pulsating, it's probably starting to get some flow. So now we're just gonna go with the body work, and this is how we'll start every session until everyone has gone through enough shadow work to where we can start focusing on the fun stuff. Alright, but if you're here, you're likely someone who's an older soul, many lifetimes worth of shadows and pain that you gotta work through to be able to discover the gifts that you hold. And so it's a process, but it's very rewarding, and as we go, we'll slowly get to explore more and more of that. But we're not here to spiritual bypass. We're gonna make sure that we get your body aligned with what it's ready to process and catch it up to speed with what's happening now. Alright, because the things we hold on to from the past, alright, prevent us from fully processing what is available to us in many different ways. Okay, so where's everyone's vibration? Should we know? So we're like at the nose, so we're gonna start up here. Okay, we're gonna try to get the energy flowing in the face, the stomach. Alright, but we're gonna pull your shoulders down, squeeze right in the center of your forehead, squeeze your nose, pull your shoulders down, squeeze your chest. You're gonna feel it connect to your stomach, make sure you're squeezing your fists. Alright, let it all go, breathe in. Alright, now you're gonna lift your chin up, squeeze your jaw, open your jaw, and you're gonna pull in the muscle in the front of your throat. You're gonna feel it connect to your chest. Now you're gonna vibrate it, so expand it, hold that tension, just push it out and go ah. Whew. Alright. I'm gonna have everyone stand if you can. If not, that's okay. Just do what my torso's doing. So now I want you to stretch out all your muscles, but it's gonna start. You're gonna expand from the back of your head, but I want you to open your jaw, feel all the muscles through here, pull back to grabbing the back of your head, pulling the sides of your face. Best you can, and those are gonna be weak at first. Then once you feel it connect to the back of your neck and your spine, breathe in. Now, squeeze your forehead, pull your arms together and in, elbows in. You're gonna squeeze your nose. Okay, brace your teeth like this, pull in your chest, expand it, go ah. Whew. Okay. So if we're squeezing our jaw and our chest, it's so that they connect. So the very last muscles that we squeeze, that is where our focus is on. Because these muscles, all the muscles that come before, they're connecting to each other, but then they should just stay that way by default, because you use them to get to the end, which is where the blockage is. And the end muscles we focus on. Okay, so don't get so hung up on having to squeeze so many different places. As long as you end off where we're at, you should be able to feel it open. Now, face your hands out, pull your elbows in, and pull your shoulders back. Your chest is going to be out. Okay, tilt your chin down, squeeze back your throat, your mid back. Make sure you're arching your back. Then breathe in. You're gonna feel pressure at the top of your head, your cheeks, squeeze them, your shoulders, and your chest. Okay, expand your chest, hold the pressure there, and go, ah. Gotta pull into the pressure. So you're condensing all that tension, almost like molding a ball of clay. And then you're pushing it out on all sides. You're like breaking it apart from the inside. It's kind of a weird analogy, but. So, but that tension, that blockage, is the landing pad for the vibration. Alright, so wherever that tension is, that's where the air needs to travel. If the air's not traveling, you're not getting circulation, you're not getting blood flow. Alright, you're not connected to that plane of your energy field fully. You're probably like, don't see all the things that are influencing certain aspects of your life. Alright, if our energy is held back in that way. Alright, because our energy centers operate together. They're not connected to each other. Alright, if my voice is not connected to my heart, then how are you going to know the truth behind what I say? If my third eye isn't connected to my sacral, probably won't have the best time picking the right partners. So, okay, so as you gain more control of your muscles, you can begin to influence your vibration in a very precise way. As an example of this, we've got some of our advanced students in here, so I'm going to do something a little more difficult. Alright, we all should be able to get this as long as you are using your muscles fully. So you can't gain access to a chakra if you're not using those muscles, and your hands are like the toolkit for your chakras. So when you see all these energy healers or Reiki healers using their hands and doing these mudras, alright, they've got to be physically tethered to those centers by the connection and the synchronization of your muscles. So even the ones in your fingers. So for this, you're gonna pull your middle finger in, flex all your fingers out, but you're gonna be flexing all of them. Okay, so if you point your thumbs down towards your chest, you're gonna feel it to your shoulders. Once you feel that connection kind of lock in, pull your shoulders down. Then you're gonna feel in between your shoulders, the back of your head, squeeze it, squeeze your fist. Now breathe in. Now pull your arms back. Make a big smile, squeeze all of the muscles wrapping around your face. Pull into your jaw and go, ah! So every time we make a sound, you want it to push out against the area we were squeezing. kind of like making a singing bowl. So internally, where things start to open up this passage where we breathe and eat through, you can literally feel the very inside of that, you know, connecting it to the opening of your jaw. Okay, and once you feel those internal muscles, you can push them out more and make that sound more full. Ah. Only reason we sound muted is when we aren't pushing it. Alright, this is literally just tight, constricted. Yeah?
You got my squares?
Yep. Okay. Whew. Okay, so connecting. We're gonna bridge the connection between our hands, our arms, and our chakras. Alright, because as I said, this connection through here is important. But through simple Tai Chi exercises, which I will demonstrate how to do using the breath, you're gonna be able to see just how weak these muscles can get, like when you don't use them. Not to call anybody out, I speaking for myself here, but yeah, once you feel that connection, finally, it's like you gain so much more control. Okay, so I have this video, Tai Chi exercises I found to be really effective when you use the breath with them. So this is gonna be a little workout, which I already got mine in today. We're going double down. So let's see. First one. That's right. Okay. Should have more space here. Okay. So how are you gonna do this? And let me make sure y'all get a better angle. There we go. Okay. So you're gonna pull start with your right leg back. All right, and as
Could
you
you
pull
repeat
it,
that? I glitched out.
huh?
My bad.
Could you repeat that?
So as you pull your right leg back, you're almost gonna like dab, but not that. Okay. So we're bending with it, and then we're swinging our legs in front. Okay. So as we swing our leg back, the right one, our arms are gonna go the opposite direction. Once we swing it forward, our arms are gonna go towards the legs we're swinging. Okay. And as you do this, you're gonna bend forward slightly. And I want you to feel your shoulders connecting to the swing in your hips. So squeeze your shoulders, squeeze your hips, and as you're moving your arms, you're gonna feel all the muscles in the front of your torso hook in to the hips, because that's where you'll feel it first. Once you got it, just keep pulling on it until you feel it, the tension wanting to break. Then you're gonna inhale. Come forward squeeze in the front of your chest, pull it up your throat and the sides of your head and go, ah. Whew. Because when you're pulling on all those muscles, you can get hung up on, am I supposed to breathe right now? But no, as you're pulling, you felt it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
felt
felt
it
it
too.
too.
Awesome.
I had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I had trouble with the left side because, but it pushed in some areas in some spot that I wasn't able to. So it feels that it's gonna realign something.
Are you talking about your last session? Or your last class?
No, that exercise right now.
Oh.
Because I'm having trouble doing it with the left side on the floor.
So it's like each time your leg swings back and forward, you're gathering more of that tension and where it connects to, because starting in your hips, you'll feel that tension. You grab onto it. All right, if you keep pulling through that, keep your spine straight, you feel it go up all the way up your sides, and it's going to complete a certain track, and you'll be able to circulate it once you breathe into it. Keep it going, keep pulling, but it helps give you that pathway. Whew. Alright, now we're going to have to do the other side, which would be, yep, okay. Okay, so my legs swinging forward, my arms are swinging back. Okay, my legs going up. So up, arms are going the opposite way. This leg, opposite way when it comes back. Okay, make sure you're grabbing onto wherever you feel tension first. Felt it in my hips, we're doing the other side. And you're just gonna squeeze the pathway. You feel it connect to, make sure your spine's straight. Once you feel like you gotta grab on all of that tension, you're gonna squeeze it as much as you can, then relax, breathe in. I felt it get stuck in here. So from the tension, I'm gonna expand it and pull out away from that point. Disperse it. Ah. And then use the sound to clear out the residual. So like even our muscles, they get stuck on an island, disconnected from all the rest because they're so blocked off. We don't have access to them. So once you gain access to it, you gotta connect it to the surrounding ones so that it can have life again. Alright, let's see what else. This is a good one. Okay. So what we're gonna do is as you bring your leg back and your knee forward, you're gonna hold your arms out away from you, but I want you to pull your shoulders back so you can feel how the spine aligns through your arms and your shoulders. Okay, now once you pull your arms in, you're gonna twist them and then bring your back knee up and bring your fist back. Okay. It's going to be a lot of muscle coordination at first. But what you want to keep in mind is every time that back leg comes up, you want to point your toe. And once it goes back, you want your foot flat on the ground. Okay? From here, I'm gonna have you in this position, squeeze your shoulders and your lower back, feel how they connect through your arms, squeeze your fist, now breathe in, pull your fist back, your knee up, you're gonna feel the tension, lock into your stomach, push out against it, and go, ah. We're gonna try that one again. Whew. Okay, so instead now, when you are in this position and you pull your arms in, I want you to feel as you squeeze your arms and your fists, them pulling into the muscles through here. And so you're gonna be able to grab those muscles good and do this repetitively to pull into these muscles right here. Okay, once you got them, breathe in. Now squeeze your face all in the front, your chest. Use the sound to open it. Ah! Make sure to inhale through the nose at the end. How did everyone do on that? You feel it? Anyone get stuck?
Yeah, love it.
Love it?
Love it. It's a lot. It's good.
Awesome. Okay. Do we need to do the other side? Pretty sure that would be. Yeah, let's do the other side. Okay. So this time I'm gonna have you squeeze your cheeks. Alright, squeeze your chest. Feel the connection start there. And once you go into the exercise, pull down into your sides. Each time it's kind of like you're winding the muscles deeper into the lower ones. Okay, once you got it, breathe into it. You're gonna pull all the muscles on the top of your head back. Pull your shoulders back, arms up, and go ah into your mid back. So expand your mid back. Try to pull the sound into your mid back. Okay, once it opens, breathe in through the nose. Whew. So this, you will see as we go through more and more of these, how you can incorporate the breath into basically any exercise routine. Because I'm doing this all on the fly. But I like to have a guidebook to go by too. You know, the teacher needs a teacher as well. So, but learning that you can incorporate what works into something that maybe isn't the most effective on its own and just make it that much better. So, has everybody got the breathing down? Are you pushing, you feeling blockages open? You able to get that second breath? Because if you get once you get the second breath and it goes right in, it's the only way you can tell if you got a blockage open. But you got to take that breath fast right after it opens. Okay. Oh, I like this one. So this one's for the legs. We're gonna do, let me pull this down a bit. So you're gonna choose a leg, and as you pull your knee up, you're gonna bend your toes down. Okay, bend your ankle down. Alright, and then once you come back down, instead of going into the original position, you're gonna tilt your toes out and almost make a circle with it. Okay, so it'll be like up, and then make a half circle, and then come back up. Up, half circle, come back up. Up, half circle, come back up. But you want to feel almost how your ankle here is controlling that circle. Okay. So, to incorporate the breath, once you pull your knee up, you're going to squeeze your lower back. Okay, once you push out into that half circle, you're going to start pulling into your abs, come back up, come down, squeeze both sides of your abs, and make a ah as you push out against the tension in here. The breath will build up wherever there's tension. And where the breath is, the vibration can travel. You just gotta make the room. Expand everything so that it can get there. Whew. But that's why we really, the jaw, when you expand that, that's really what helps you connect all through here. And so that's how you can really get easier access to your opening your heart by expanding your throat and then pulling in and feeling how it expands out into your chest cavity. And then vibrate it. Squeeze your eyes as you do it. Ooh. Squeeze your nose. Turn it into an ooh. You're gonna feel it rise. And then breathe in through your nose at the end. You won't be able to breathe in if you're still squeezing your muscles. Okay. So to do the other side, This time I want you to repeat the movement. Each time you do it, see it from your foot, controlling the muscles in your ankle. You can feel it connect to your sides. Alright, so bring your knee up, point your toe, do the half circle, come back up, do it again. Until you feel it pull deeper into your lower back from your sides. Once you feel it in your sides, the tension, you're gonna breathe in. I want you to squeeze the front of your thighs and your calves if you can. Pull into your sides and go, ah. Is anyone getting stuck anywhere? Anyone have any persistent tension or pain?
I really like those. They got the energy going in parts that I needed it.
So it's funny, right? Like those parts, those joints that we're moving, the hips and here, are where the lymph nodes are, right? So it's like when you're moving those joints, like you're moving the pump of the lymph nodes and starts draining better.
There's no other way for your lymphatics to drain unless you create internal pressure with the breath. There's literally no other way. So
Amazing.
it is such like a modern day issue that has such an easy fix.
Yeah, because like you're playing with the pressurization of your body again, you're rehydrating everything, even the joints. Amazing. Like for me, it's congested here, and this is where another drainage trigger points are.
Okay, so this is gonna help you connect to your heart space. But as you are twisting your hands in this motion, feel how it connects to the muscles in here. Alright, I can only get so descriptive because you're gonna feel like the muscles in your fingertips latch on somewhere. Then as you twist them, make sure you're still twisting those muscles you feel in your chest. Okay, so bring it out. Okay, flip them, pull them in, bring them out, flip them. Okay, and I want you to take a breath and feel as you're pulling your shoulders back and forward. Let your shoulders match the rhythm of your arms. You're gonna feel the pressure build up in your chest. Once you feel it start to move, make a to guide it through if it needs help. With that one, it went in pretty easy on its own. So all of these external movements we're doing are to control the internal movement of energy. Alright, but you will not be able to feel energy where you can't feel a blockage. So if you can't feel your blockage, let me know. Because that's the only place you're going to be able to feel the energy flow. Because that's what's stopping it in the first place.
I think I'm having a hard time squeezing my muscles.
Okay. So was there a specific one you struggled on, or was it somewhere specific in your muscles?
I just don't get how to squeeze my muscle in a way.
Which one?
Any muscle that you're telling me to squeeze, I don't know what you mean by squeeze. Like my head is trying to analyze it and just having a hard time.
Okay. So if you squeeze any muscle and you use your fist as well, because you can squeeze your fist, right, and feel that, there's tension, there's pressure. Alright, and you can feel it almost like your fingers are cramping up. So, but when you contract your muscles, it's the same wherever you're focusing, but when you squeeze your fist, it'll help you contract them wherever it's at. Alright, and when you squeeze your muscles, it's not that you're even trying to feel your muscles, you're trying to feel where the breath gets stuck, where you feel out of breath. So that's why we squeeze them. And so when you squeeze them, and then you breathe in, alright, as you breathe in, you obviously let go so you can expand them. And then you'll feel where it gets stuck internally, and that's the internal pathway that needs to be cleared. And so you pull the air into that. So if I feel a line of tension through here, deep internal tension, pain, physical pain, I'm going to pull the air through it and see where it connects. And then I'm going to vibrate it if it gets stuck again. But you got to expand the pathway using the breath.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and that's why we don't exhale when we do this. Because there's so much of us that needs air. And when we go through things that are hard to process, literally certain parts of our body, don't get as much oxygen, alright, or blood flow. Because when your nervous system is in fight or flight, all that blood flow is being redirected to your vital organs and not throughout your whole body. So we're regaining that connection to the rest of us that kind of began to die. Kind of like how a plant doesn't have a mouth to absorb oxygen. Our body doesn't just take it in that way. Like, you can control where your breath goes by connecting to the muscles. Let's see, we got 10 more minutes of body work. Let's see, where's everyone's vibration? At the crown. What's the lowest we're at? Throat. Alright. I never want to call anyone out. So, one of you is at the throat. If you take a breath in, and then make sure, you fill up as much as you can. See where it gets stuck. If it's in your throat, it might be you. But if not, we'll keep going. But I will help you like individually if it calls for it. So ideally we like to have our vibration up to the third eye before we do shadow work, because that is where we're able to see things more clearly. Like if our vibration is lower than that, then we barely got our head above water. So you need your mind to be in the right state to process whatever emotion is keeping you stuck. But the physical work creates space between you and that emotion, so you can just observe it from a bit more, not of a detached space, but of literally like you now have space to make sense of it, you know what I mean? Because you're not so entangled with it. So the body always comes first. Like you can try to do shadow work, but without the body work, it's gonna be an endless battle. This one's interesting. So for this mudra, you're gonna almost put up a peace sign, but you're gonna squeeze your fingers in a claw, but just these three. Make sure you're flexing all of them. And you pull your shoulders back. All right, and I want you to shake up the tension, but first you're gonna breathe in. Feel where the breath gets caught. It's gonna get stuck here. All right, hook your shoulders into it. Pull your shoulders back. All right, shake your arms like this. And feel where your fingers latch on in here. And start to break up that tension. Okay, but the breath, you're using your fingers to help pull it through. And then if you got that open without using sound, good job. It takes some people a long time to be able to do that. Make sure to breathe in at the end through the nose. Okay, now you're gonna put your elbows at an angle, but still pull your shoulders back. You're gonna hook in your elbows, squeeze your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders. Okay, you're hooking in your arms, lock them into place. Feel them connect to your sides. Squeeze your sides. In your mid back, you're gonna feel into your hips. Once you feel it, breathe in. Now you're gonna push all the air out against your upper muscles in the face. You're gonna feel it get caught in your chest too, but make a and expand all your muscles. Because when air and sound interact and you're able to channel it through your body, it's almost like a liquid. It like liquefies blockages. It's like, what are they called? Scalar waves? And then there are literal frequency machines where if you're able to like match the frequency of, let's say, a parasite in your body, the machine can just shatter them like you shatter glass. That's how powerful sound is. When you fine tune the sound that you naturally make, you can do so much more. So now you're gonna almost twist your hands like you're turning a knob. Flex all your fingers. Pull your shoulders down. Make sure your spine is straight. Make sure your neck is tall. Okay, erect. Right? So you're gonna squeeze the back of your head. As you're twisting your fingers, make sure you're squeezing them. Squeeze all the muscles through your arms till it gets to your shoulders and your sides. Each time you twist, pull you deeper and deeper. Okay, then breathe in. Now, You're gonna pull your arms back, push the breath out against all the tension through here, pull down into your lower abs and go. Ah. I feel like when I do these classes, I learn more than anything that I do on my own, because when you're reading so many people's energies, it's a lot of different blockages we're dealing with all at once. Okay. This is really gonna connect you to your spine. So if you have your wrist tilted down, and as you bring your shoulders down and your hands up, you're gonna lift your chin up. Okay? So make sure when your arms are down and your wrists are down, your chin is down as well. So you're just gonna have your hands follow the direction of your head. And you're doing this to start to feel the muscles in your chest. Your shoulders are gonna come up and down as you do it. Once you feel the muscles in your chest, you're gonna grab them as much as you can, let them go, breathe in. Pull into your mid back, do a squat, squeeze your lower back, squeeze your butt, pull the sound down as low as you can and go. Breathe in automatically at the end. It should be a lot. Regardless, you're going to want to take that breath. Alright, but if you don't feel like, oh, I need that breath, then you're probably not using enough of your strength. Because it should feel like, almost like a reflex. Okay. Where's everybody at? Think we're good? We're the lowest person? Yeah. Alright, so we got everyone up to at least the third eye. Looks like someone took my advice. Whoever that was, I generally don't know. But I'm glad to see it, feel it.
Yeah, it opened up a lot here for me. Great job, great.
Thank you. Ooh. Definitely a workout.
Yeah?
Does anyone feel ungrounded, untethered from reality? I do feel a little spacey. If anyone else is
dizzy.
Dizzy? Okay. So, to kind of ground that, what do I have everyone do? Squeeze your butt. You're going to feel tension in your lower back. Squeeze your fist. Squeeze your nose. Once you got it, breathe in. Now you're going to squeeze your knees, your calves, and your stomach. Okay, and then make a and breathe in. I feel like that sound that I always make, the it's like a level that I'm stuck at or something. before we move on, does anyone feel any sort of distracting feeling somewhere in their body that might get in the way of you focusing?
Shoulder blade, right shoulder blade.
Okay, I'm gonna help you. So if you face your palms out, squeeze your palms. Okay, pull your shoulders back. Feel your palms sink into your shoulders. Squeeze it all the way. Breathe in. Now, you're gonna pull the muscles in your jaw. Kind of like when Jesus says suck your teeth. Until you feel the tightness in your throat. And then in your stomach. Now you're gonna vibrate your stomach, then pull into your shoulder blades.
I didn't see you actually got it in there. That's fine. It's been a hard one all day.
You can get stuck there. Sometimes that happens. But wherever you get stuck, like the fact that y'all have each other to work with, even when you do feel stuck, usually working with someone who's at that level, is the same level as you, you'll be able to make a lot of progress. Because it's easier to read someone else's blockages. It's not so easy to face your own. So, but when you have someone there to help you, it's nice. It is. Okay. So, no one else? If not, for today, the shadow work we're gonna do. I had planned this the other day. I'm not exactly certain what we're getting into, but so we're gonna try to address some of the habits that have been holding us back, whatever those are. And first, I'm gonna share my experience doing shadow work on a particular habit that I find myself returning to out of familiarity. Whatever is familiar feels safe, sometimes even when it's not. And it's not really so much about the habit itself not being safe, it's what you're avoiding. Alright, that isn't safe because what you resist persists. You all know this? Very simple concept. So, alright, where do we start? For reality to be what it promised you the moment you decided what you wanted, you have to keep the promises you make to yourself, so reality can reflect that you accept nothing less. What are some promises you made to yourself that didn't go as planned? Could have to do with health, finances, relationships, creative projects, future visions, or maybe you're still figuring out who you are and you haven't made any big promises to yourself. But when you become nothing, you can hold space for everything. So you could also ask, what are some things I need to make space for? So um, we can. I'm gonna have you guys kind of think on it. If you want, you can grab some paper. Sorry, I didn't prepare you for that. Um, and the question was, what what are some promises you made to yourself that didn't go as planned? Okay. So I'll let you guys think on that. I'll give you a couple minutes. I have here what I'll share with you, my own experience. Um, and feel free to share or withhold whatever you find.
For me, I always get excited about a project. I prepare everything. I structure it. I start doing it. And as soon as I get some difficulties, the motivation drops.
Yep.
Same, it's like it's hard to stay consistent with the things that I want to do. Keeping a routine, smoking, because I told myself I would stop smoking, and I keep finding myself back to it.
So, and it's so interesting because you can think of it too, like when you do the act of like smoking, you are literally creating a physical barrier between yourself and your emotions. So you are creating the smoke, right? That is obscuring you from your own answer, whatever you are seeking within yourself. And sometimes it's the question, like, what am I seeking that we don't even have figured out yet? And that's where you make space to find what that is. And then, regardless of the habit or not, you're still deserving of creating that space to explore and discover more of who you are and what you really want. And realizing, like, regardless of the habit, like, you still gotta make time for that. Yeah. Because then not only are you avoiding your problems, you're avoiding um, meeting your own basic needs.
Avoidance seems the key here.
So this class is called 0 Point Alchemy. And the reason is, alright, because we all have what they call like the third eye is actually the throne and the crown. It's like you're the king of your own, you're the king or queen of your own reality. And when you're sitting in that seat, you are in control of what's happening. And so when you can find that stillness and find that center, you start to see how you created all of this. Natalie?
So mine's lowballing myself. It's a boundary. So I do art, and I've done it for a very long time. I'm even from tattooing professionally for 27 years. That thing right there is what I freaking lowballed myself on. I'm so upset about it. It's not even funny. Okay? A small size of that is like $200. This thing's worth almost 900. I get $400 for 3 of these things. It took fucking 5 hours
Oh my
to put that
goodness.
design symmetrically on that oval. So like I did it because I needed money for rent is the only reason I did it. But I hate myself for doing it.
So
But
wait,
I'm
what
doing it
exactly?
anyways and it's gonna be awesome, but not doing it again no matter how much I need the money.
So
You
what
gain the
exactly was that
experience.
for? I'm curious.
Huh?
I'm curious. Was it for some sort of event or something?
I have the old landlord. He likes to bring me projects to do, and these are called barn quilts. So they're like symmetrical images, or they're like made out of triangles and squares. The other ones are 4 feet by 4 feet. Um, so yeah, they go for a lot of money, and he's a millionaire. Like he literally owns the entire Northwest Ohio Roto-Rooter and a whole bunch of properties. So it bothers me that he wants quality, but he doesn't want to pay for it.
That is
So
nuts.
he's like, and he knows it because I sent him pictures of the exact designs and how much the small ones cost. So he knows that I know, and it's like, oh my god.
Do you even
At
like the
least,
guy?
huh?
Do you even like the guy?
I do. He's all right. I mean, I lived under his houses for 15 years, but I don't know. I just expected he talked about quality this, quality that, but then he doesn't. I'm standing in the paint aisle going, okay, well, what paint do you want me to buy? And he goes, oh, just go to Hobby Lobby, buy the $2.99 paint. Okay. So I did. There you go. Just all of my stuff is done with care and love, and like I put a lot of time and effort regardless, you know. So yeah, and I know my time is worth more than what I do. I do all kinds of projects. I can create anything, so I take whatever project usually is handed my way. So I would like to have a boundary and like keep prices where they should be, so I don't have to feel like I'm a starving artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree. That sounds like exactly what you should do. What's stopping you?
Well, I did it on everything else but this because I needed it to pay my rent because my rent went up another $100. So I needed it. And I also believe I should be adaptable. So I think that's where I struggle is because I feel like I should be adaptable regardless, and money's money. But then again, I got all this other stuff I'm supposed to be doing for myself and my business instead of his projects. So yeah, that's where it stems from.
So it comes back to that reliability. I feel like. So the more reliable you are to yourself, the more you're gonna start to notice that you can rely on reality because it has to reflect the level of consciousness you're at. So
I've been trusting the universe more, so I'm in this whole kick of trusting the universe, and it's been quite grand. I mean, I started the year out with a bang, with a fire, and then, so it's gotten a lot better. It's just the one thing. So I'm working on it, but trusting that everything happens in my path when it needs to happen is where I go to when I do things like this.
so yeah, it's really is finding the meaning that is there that only you can find. Like I can't tell you why your house burned down, but it can.
Neighbor did it.
What'd you say?
I said my neighbor tried to kill us. That's why.
That's why.
It was arson.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's some things
It was a
wrong,
catalyst.
wrong time,
So
wrong place. Except you're in your own home, so it's like, what the fuck,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was a catalyst. So I mean, we got this nice house. We're alive. Everybody survived. We rebuilt. I just like money and take it when it comes. And it was like late at night, and I made a spur of the decision moment. So I guess not be so more sporadic and calm the fuck down, make a decision after you think about it, right?
Well, now that everything was destroyed, do you feel like better things are coming in?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, trusting, like, it really takes, I stay hopeful and I try to trust in the universe because I've been listening to it more. And when I got to go in a tunnel last night, I got to go in a portal, and I was sitting in the throne of the gods, and they were like all standing around, and there was channeling going on, and like there was 5 of them that touched me, and it took me to the library, and I got to read the book, and like I had downloads. So something I'm doing is working.
Wow, that's awesome. So your mind, your imagination got a lot more vivid?
Oh, I've been this way since I was a kid, but I love it. It's just no, actually, the gods they show up a lot here. Like they was with Tufik and was it Alex? I don't remember who it was, but the message was so loud I like blurted it out. I couldn't like stop myself. Most of the time I can like stop myself, but the channeling is very I don't know, stronger.
And for those of you who maybe don't have a connection to the gods, that's completely fine. You know, that's
It's all of them though. It's not just one. It's literally all of them because I'm somebody that believes in all,
right.
not one.
Yeah.
So
So it to explain that, it's really just time, much like emotions, much like light, much like anything, much like sound. Time is a spectrum, so all exists now. Alright, so those levels of consciousness are just frequencies that you can tap in and out of. And the more you can sustain those higher frequencies, the more things around you will begin to unfold differently.
thoroughly enjoying it.
So I'm gonna share what I wrote for this. The question was, say it one more time. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? What are some promises you made to yourself that did not go as planned? So, in mine, that did not go as planned, is I had a period of time where I did not make space or time for the 0 point, which is that throne where you tune out all the noise of the world. You literally have to create time every day to do this. Alright? However it works for you, complete stillness, complete quiet, and connecting to that inner signal. So, for me, I had the fear that something would pull me away from the 0 point, but I pulled myself away before I could find out even what that would be, right? And I wanted to know how to ground that feeling, but again, I still wasn't making time to figure that out. Alright, because once that feeling is there of just complete stillness and peace, and no having to do anything to return to that, it's just always there available to you, that's what you want. So I wanted to fill my space with things that felt more novel, more personal, because when you're living in a shared space, you still have to have somewhere that feels like a reflection of you internally, you know? Um, and I don't want to remind myself of anyone or be looked at as a lesser version of someone already well known. I want to be my own individual. Um, and these are all, in a way, broken promises, you know, because they're still showing up as doubt or concern. And um, busyness protected me from knowing what I wanted and having to transition if I discovered it was something different from what I was doing or being around. Um, and ultimately, I avoided the disappointment of failing at something I really wanted. I feel like I'm reading something that is not completely related, but I'm going with it. So where does this end? That was the key for me. So maybe I have been subconsciously allowing what feels safe for others to be what feels safe for me. So I see others doing all these things, and it's safe for them. And like, you know, it's okay because they're doing it too, right? That kind of mentality. It's easy to fall into. But if what's blocking me from feeling fulfilled is something I convinced myself I need to feel safe, then what is my relationship to safety? Unstable. Okay? So if something's blocking me from feeling fulfilled, because I said in my mind this thing is safe, but it's not, what is my relationship to safety? Okay? And as I said earlier, what's unsafe isn't the bad habit or the behavior. It's what you're using it to avoid that becomes unsafe, because what you resist persists and repeats. Alright? It's the frequency the habit or behavior is tying you to that becomes a sinking ship disguised as a rescue boat. You are your own rescue mission. One more question I'll end off with, which I'll leave that. Does anyone want to share what I asked after the first question? Which was, what are some promises you made to yourself that didn't go as planned?
I'll share a big one that I haven't actually looked at, but it's working for myself. I've tried multiple times and I get so far and then I just stop. So it's something that I could definitely dig deeper on.
Okay. Was there anything anyone shared today?
I think obviously self-doubt. Like I think that's what it always comes back to. Yeah, being able to push that little bit more out of my comfort zone. Yeah.
But then it's almost like you're strangling that voice of doubt and not listening to it. You're pushing, trying to push past it. So that's why when we do shadow work, you'll see it's almost like, normally when I do it, it's like a back and forth. And I usually share that first, how I do it. Where it's like, you have this question, this doubt in your mind. Why is this here? Why is it coming up? You ask that initial question. You wait for the answer. You enter that 0 point. Allow for whatever to come up to come up. Alright, don't judge it. Don't think it should be a certain way. It is what it is. You just want to write what's there, and you'll slowly begin to peel back the layers. But it is a back and forth. You are literally communicating to an aspect of your consciousness that you need to keep investigating, and that's when you'll find why it's there. What is the source? But usually it's one main experience that you didn't let go of that made all of these other experiences attract to it, and so it's like a literal chain of experiences, and all these different chains get tangled, and you can't differentiate um, between how you really feel and what you want to see in your reality.
Yeah, it becomes a self-perpetuating prophecy, finding what the core limiting belief is, right? And then we create all these other layers on top of it due to other experiences that sort of prove, oh, that's correct on a subconscious level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something I need to dig deeper on because I haven't looked at that, but it is something that I want to work towards again. So.
But you will see that it's literally like a spiral, and even like the analogy of the chains, it really kind of goes deep. I wrote about it earlier because it's like each event, as you dive deep, and again you follow your intuition, follow your natural curiosity as you're speaking to this aspect of your consciousness, you're asking those questions that feel emotionally charged, not those questions that you think need to be answered. There is no right or wrong. It's just what is the most emotionally pressing at that moment. So, but our experiences, our memories are like chains of events connecting, reinforcing each other. And it's really beautiful when you can see that bigger picture at the end of like all of these different pieces of information. They just tie into each other, and you unravel the entire thing. But it is an intuitive process as well. But yeah, so our experiences from the past literally spill over into the experiences we're having now. And but yeah, the reason we have a hard time aligning our reality with what we truly feel, because part of us is still uncertain. And so negative feelings can be interpreted so many ways, but there's a lot of things we don't want to experience, and so it can feel like sometimes you're navigating a series of obstacles you placed in your own way, anticipation of a negative outcome. We can become consumed by the world, and when you become consumed by the world, I mean that poetically, metaphorically, literally. Alright, there's a fine line between delusion and fine-tuned pattern recognition. When you are consumed by the world, you are consumed by your patterns and negative spirals that you feel chained down by. But that's why when we are doing shadow work, we're not letting it weigh us down. We are simply untangling those chains so we can free ourselves. So, but it's really just, bringing order to chaos. Because why do we have such a distorted view of ourselves and the path that we're on? But the very last question I was going to have y'all kind of reflect on: when did you not stand up for yourself because you were waiting for someone else to be the bigger person? It's a big question, really. It really is. This one I don't have an answer to.
Sorry. That's actually a big one that I am working with at the moment because I've just had a very recent example of that. So,
You comfortable sharing that?
it was a romantic relationship and someone that just gaslit me and lied to me for such a long period of time, and I continuously, intuitively I knew, but I overrode it because I believed what they were telling me. And we had such a deep soul connection that I kind of tried to believe in that more than, and anyway, the truth was revealed last week, like the most massive tower moment, and
you finally accepted it? You finally accepted it?
Yes. So now I have to work through all of that, I guess, just unraveling all those chains.
So that's just what were your values at the time? So if your value was connection and you felt like a part of that was being fulfilled by the connection, but another part of it wasn't, then you were using that to prevent yourself from making time for that connection that you weren't receiving to begin with.
Yeah.
That's tough. That is, because sometimes we'll be tested so many times in a row that, like, repeatedly person after person comes into our lives to show us, what we kind of expect and anticipate for ourselves that we're not really aware of. And then we allow it to continue, and then that reinforces the anticipation of it happening again. So, but time, making the time now, that's all you can do to build up that new belief system of I am worthy for better, I'm worthy for more. And just proving that to yourself every day through your actions, even if it's hard. I think discipline really is the most important thing. Being consistent, even though it can feel like there's so many things rooting against us. But there's nothing ever wrong with making time for that 0 point. That is like the best possible thing you can do if you feel overwhelmed. Because if you're trying to force an outcome, you're just gonna keep getting like a Walmart version of what you want. Best way I can explain it. There was also, we actually do have a lot to kind of process here. I had planned something for Sunday, and I forgot that I had planned that, and now I'm like, I don't want to put that on the back burner. But let's see. I don't like to have y'all do something I don't also do, so when did you stand up for yourself? Because you were waiting for someone else to be the bigger person.
I feel like I always stood up for myself in a way that it kind of like made me out to be the villain in everybody's story in a way.
That's true, because sometimes your boundary is another person's trigger, and that's when things get kind of dicey. But um, it's just misaligned priorities. So, and that's the hard part, is sometimes people who we should be a priority for simply don't treat us as if we are one. But again, where does that come from? You gotta prioritize yourself first.
Often people don't know how to prioritize themselves too.
Right.
How can they prioritize you?
So, but, and even if, let's say, let's say one of your boundaries is someone's trigger, are you gonna let them walk over your boundaries just because they're triggered? Are you gonna let their triggeredness influence what you're comfortable with? Like, or what you say you're comfortable with, you know? Because there's a level of discomfort that sometimes is just impossible to avoid, but there are so many times where we have the opportunity to prevent things from becoming a catastrophe. Because we just don't completely stick up for ourselves. When you express yourself from a place of pain or feeling triggered, that's gonna rub off, and other people will feel that, and so you're not gonna find a solution because you are talking from the pain and not addressing the problem. Because you can't. If you're in it, you can't address it. And that's why we make time for the body work. Then we get to this. But, so there's so many things that could come up. But I can't think of a specific example of that. I know that there have been plenty of times I did not stand up for myself. But that happens after so many years of the people who are supposed to love you devaluing you to the point where you devalue yourself. And that's what I meant by it's easy to become consumed by reality, consumed by what you're seeing. You identify with it, you can't separate yourself from it. And that is especially difficult when a lot of us deal with that in childhood and our identities are still developing. So, but to go a little deeper, because I did say that we would kind of address the shadow of our habits. And so, obviously for me, one of those was smoking. Alright, because habits are just distractions, or we get bored, we get sidetracked, because we get tired of waiting for reality to become the change we want to see. And so we say, fuck reality, fuck myself. I'm just gonna fuck some shit up, right? And so you really just fuck yourself over again and again. And you make those false promises to yourself, and then reality just shows you that, hey, you're gonna ask me for something? Actually stand by what you say first. Stand by what you want to achieve first. You gotta make the first step. Reality is just a ripple. It's what follows after you decide the direction you're going in. So this was, Actually, I think my vibration was pretty low when I wrote this. But we're gonna see. I know there was a high vibrational message here. I don't want to just fucking talk about some low vibrational shit. Let me make sure. So, this next part will be just for those who want to do shadow work on some of the habits that you want to get rid of or slowly detach yourself from. But we're gonna take a 5-minute break, grab some water, and then we'll get into that. We'll be back.
So Gavin,
what's up, man?
how you been?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Just got promoted at work. Doing
Right.
my thing. Trying to get my money up.
Congrats, buddy.
How are you?
Went back to work today. I was off for almost a month and a half.
How'd that go?
It was something.
Yeah. Sounds right. What do you do?
Customer service.
Oh, shit. Where do you work?
At a gas company called Energy.
Okay. That's cool.
It pays good, but you know.
Yeah.
Computer.
Yeah.
The neck.
Yeah, I don't sit down at work much, for sure. I think I prefer it that way. I run a printing press.
Oh, that is so cool. Like
Should
paper
work,
printing press or like
Yeah, I make labels for like Tide bottles and stuff like that.
Okay. My grandpa used to work in a paper mill.
Yeah, there's a paper mill right down the road. It's like the only industry around here is around paper.
It's awesome.
Logging and paper.
You have a Michael Scott too?
I'm sure somewhere.
I'm in Ohio, so.
That's cool. I'm in Virginia.
Oh, nice. So you're close.
I've been to Ohio like one time. I picked up my sister from a hotel after a breakup or something.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, I went up there. I was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, no, it's all around sentiment. Yeah.
Wasn't there a movement that like it didn't exist not too long ago? People were saying it didn't exist.
Well, people who've lived here all their life call it a black hole because like you always come back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't say that.
Yeah.
That's all smiles, huh?
After a workout like this, of course.
Dude, really? Oh my gosh. There's something like just in my spine and all around it, just fucking opened up. Oh my gosh. Right in the back of the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Where it connects to the shoulders. Yeah, just fucking.
Your right shoulder, right?
Yeah.
I thought I felt you.
More of the right. It's all where it connects to the solar plexus. That's where it all goes back to.
Hey, that sounds oddly familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, we worked on solar plexus yesterday with class again.
Ever since I got it open, it's just slowly been trying to connect all the other pieces of it to me because I've been closed off from it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I'm right there with that as well.
Let me ask, did I miss the first part of this class? Did I miss the work, the breathing?
Yeah, it sounded.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's good to see you though.
there's another class tomorrow night. So
I was ready and everything, and I thought that it moved, and I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and dye my hair, and I'll take a shower, and I'll make what it is. Okay, that's okay.
It's good though. It's still good.
Oh yeah,
It's good to see ya.
thank you.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you, of course. Getting ready and finishing my packing for tomorrow. I'm going to Costa Rica after a few days. I'm very
Nice.
excited about that. Yeah. And then the beach. Yeah. You know what?
Ah, it's gonna be great. Ocean.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take pictures.
I'm way overdue with the
Yes.
ocean. Yes.
Hopefully you'll see some dolphins or something cool. Yeah.
Oh, wow. But I'm not, yeah, hopefully so then. Yeah,
In West Virginia, if you go to Virginia Beach in West Virginia, they'll come really close to the dock and stuff.
The dolphins, okay. Hopefully we don't get any sharks along there.
Oh no, they'll holler if there's sharks, but yeah.
That's what I
They'll
just
blow the
said.
whistles.
Yeah. That'll be great.
So, the shadow question I'm gonna start with: when did I stop feeling impressed by my own actions? So I'm gonna go into this a bit. Alright. When you're looking to be impressed, you're really avoiding the emptiness you attribute to boredom. But the silence is only suffocating when you're disconnected from nature and your own inner voice of clarity. So how can I impress myself or prove my devotion to my growth, to myself? Those are some of the questions we're going to ponder on. But for me, what I got out of this, I thought about all the days that I spent doing the same activities that drain me. And for you, you can think about it, but think about when it started. Never mind the things around you. How did you feel internally? For me, it was, and still is, smoking. Alright, because when I smoke, I feel like I can finally wind down, relax, let loose. Alright, but sometimes I notice I can start to lose interest in my surroundings because that felt very predictable. Like moving because my surroundings felt predictable. Like moving pieces I was following but not feeling moved by. But that's the relationship I have with smoking. It is predictable. And I feel like it is pulling me in a direction that I don't want to go in. But it's safe because it's predictable, right? And you still get that feeling of disconnecting from your problems temporarily by filling that space up with smoke to really give that internal barrier some weight. So, but when you let the things around you lose their meaning, you fall into the trap of convenience. It's convenience to lean on and follow others, or to look at someone to know how to speak or act. It's convenient to smoke. It's convenient to be given tasks assigned to you that were never your own or something you really wanted to do. But nothing good is ever convenient. Normally when something big that's good happens, it's massively inconvenient to the people involved because transforming painful, messy chaos into a coherent solution is mentally and emotionally taxing. If you feel tethered to all the things keeping you stuck, you won't be ready for what's available here and now to utilize, which is partly the skills and assets you develop over time, which you do by processing all of your experiences to learn how you can produce better results for yourselves than the ones you got before. If reality has become predictable, the only thing you can do is become unpredictable to change that. But we anticipate what's unpredictable to be bad or uncomfortable, and that's the relationship we have to self-expression and creativity as a collective. Alright? What's unpredictable, we think it's going to be something bad. When we want to express ourselves, we hold back because maybe we don't know what that looks like yet. But when you get familiar with yourself, you can predict that, oh, I know myself, I know that how I'm going to show up, that's truly me. I'm okay with that. I've come to terms with that. I know who that is. I know when I'm feeling something, what that means, and how that could be expressed, because I know my triggers. So, but uncertainty of not knowing who you are, it leaves room for you to be suggestible to the wrong things. Uncertainty lives inside of us all. And so we are all, in a way, suggestible to that voice that doesn't care about how we feel. Alright, but reconnecting to that voice allows you to reconnect to your agency over your own life. Alright, that voice that cares about your preferences, cares about how you feel. So, making time to connect to that voice. But, so that was a lot of information. That was a lot to ponder on. But how can I impress myself or prove my devotion to my growth, to myself? That's kind of, I think, the central question.
You just make the active choice to show up differently, and you do it one step at a time.
Yep.
And give yourself grace while you're doing it.
I agree with that.
I'm not a dip the toe in kind of person. I'm either all in or I'm not. So I chose to go in all in with the universe. So that's just, the thought was really loud. I had to say it.
And even just, because when you see a part of yourself that you're not happy with, and you can not come to terms with it, but like honor it by expressing it, but not letting it consume you. And that's what comes with expressing it, right?
Today was good.
A lot to process. But yet very easy.
I'm gonna, so for these last 5 minutes, I'll just let those who are writing and thinking finish their thoughts. We have a little bit of time if anyone does want to share their thoughts.
I was drawing a picture.
Oh wow, shit. That's cool.
Good.
I'm in flow state. I like it. I like when I get in flow state.
Fuck, send me that. I kind of want that as a tattoo or something. That's so cool.
flow state. I like being in it. So
I'm so jealous right now.
I do it a lot though. Like I do a lot. I live there. I was the only child, so like I had like nobody to play with. So my imagination is like I live there.
That's awesome. Um, a question I'll leave y'all with, and you will have to approach this as the days come. Um, but at the end of each day, up until our next class, try to uh, try to write down all the things you're glad you did, and all the things you wish you didn't do, and we'll assess it and uncover the shadow that could be blocking you from doing things differently. Don't expect to know what that is right away, because then you're not giving yourself space to grow.